Hello, everybody. Welcome to a critically average adventure, and welcome to this one that we're calling "Oh shit, I've uncovered a ton of lore. Now what do I do with it?" That we like to call Out of the Cold. It's a D&D 5e campaign I'm playing with my friends, and these are my wonderful friends. Now, for you, those of you who have not been following our downtime, I don't know how far Rookie Rook has caught up, or how far Rayla has caught up. So cooked up is a bit Breaking Bad. Sorry, I do apologize. Um, uh, maybe that's what happened over the weekend. Maybe that'll explain everything. There was a van that was themed like, never mind. Moving away from that. Yeah, they have been speaking to Litiana and uncovering mysteries and asking the Arch Mage, what the fuck, basically, like about a lot of things, like what the fuck is about that? What is that? What is that? What is that? And they have uncovered many little secrets and little mysteries and dug into that. So I think what we'll probably do is start with Rook, because Rook has been familiarizing themselves with Kakanzak, meeting up with old friends, old faces, and having some time to think and evaluate what is important to Moraruk. And it's always been family, really, Rook, I think, with you. That's what I've understood of your character. But what I'd like you to do is, can you create or think about and tell us what it was like when you were living outside Dakatha in the farmlands, in the verdant grasslands, before the war? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So when Rook was living in the farmlands, him and his dear wife had a little plot of land. It wasn't anything too extravagant. It's just nice little plots, enough for a few fields of crops and a few animals. Rook would be up at crack of dawn to feed animals and let them out into the fields, tend to his crops, tend to his plants. And then he'd be doing that from sunrise till noon. Around noon, he'd venture back to the house where his dearly beloved had cooked up a lovely lunch, maybe a few meats, maybe some cheese, homemade, of course. And then in the afternoon, if there was no further work that needed doing on the farm, he'd take stock or livestock to markets, especially if it was like a big market day in Dakatha. He'd take his stock and his.
What animals did you farm to speak, so we know what kind? I
So
want to see this. You driving them along the track. I want to know what you.
so Rook had cows, cattle. He had for obviously milk and cheese producing qualities, and he also had a few sheep that he'd shear in the winters to sell the wool and also to clothe his family. And he also kept chickens, lots and lots of chickens.
Kind of like a small holding, almost
Yeah,
self-sufficient thing going on
yeah.
there. Something that would be super like aesthetically pleasing to an Instagram profile.
Yeah, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the afternoon he'd make his way into the town, into the city for market and flog his wares in exchange for food and if he needed tools, he could buy tools and just general money. Like he wasn't an affluent man in any stretch of the imagination, but he got by and he could live and sustain himself and his family comfortably. There was never any, oh crap, how are we going to eat this week? was always comfortable.
I imagine you were the kind of amicable person. So if you did need a loan of a few eggs or a loaf of bread or something like that, that there'd be paid back in kind, that kind of stuff as well.
Oh, for sure. Like Rook was very much a pay your way, and if you can't borrow, but pay back as soon as you can. Rook kind of hated to ask for money, but he knew that if he needed to, he could. He had a few people that he could ask.
He could lean on. He was a person that could be leaned on, and he could lean on other folks. Yeah. Now this is one I don't know if you do know or if Rook even remembers. Do you remember the name of your wife?
The name of my wife? I've got it somewhere.
I don't know if I've put it down.
Got it somewhere.
That's okay. And child as well. While we're doing that, while you're looking for that, Rick, so we don't need too much dead space, we're gonna go over to Ray. Because you haven't had a bit of spotlight, we've been in a bit of downtime, so the others are going to have a bit of quiet time for a moment. We're going to listen to a bit of what Ray, what do you remember of Gargamel? Tell me one fond thing. Tell me one very normal thing, a common thing, and tell me one thing that you had that was a bad experience while you were in Gargamel.
He enjoys playing with the other Marmiala kids and hanging out with the animals. Common thing was he'd just wander and he'd look for things and fix things. Think of him like, I don't know, like a fantasy white van man. You just to help around and fix things and help where he can.
Even as a young'un.
Yeah, he was the young'un. It'd just be like help carry things and move things or anything he could do to be helpful. Really, he just liked finding out how things work and always wanted to put things back together again. More error than not. He'd mostly take things apart, then look at them and go, how did that go back together?
I think that might be because you were looking at a lot of natural things, and until you started finding things that were technological, that were made of bolts and metal and springs and cogs, they had a logic.
To the point where he'd kind of try and figure out the druid thing, but it didn't click in his head.
It's not the way you were wired.
Like he knows, like he's trained in medicine, so he knows how the animal moves, and he could tell you how to sew it back together again. He can't figure out how to talk to them.
Yeah,
he looks at everything like it's parts.
Yeah. You're like
that one's made out of metal and that one's made out of meat.
You're like the exploded diagram, like spinning round, looking at the anatomy rather than the actual life force or the communication part of it, maybe.
Yeah. The only way you could kind of see it is that's made out of metal and that's made out of meat. They're both just made out of things. And that's like how he figured out how to put them back together again.
Were you talking about you played with the Marmiala kids? Did you have any like close friends? I mean, a lot of them were obviously picking up the druid stuff, but like, did you have any close friends in the Marmiala kids?
I'd say he always felt like he didn't fit in, but he was close enough with them, if that makes sense. To the point where he fashioned his artificer self after one of the Marmiala Rangers.
And do you have a name?
Tried to be a ranger, but artificer version.
Yeah. Do you have a name for that ranger? Well, you can ponder on it, because I'd like to know them, and if you want to start thinking about that for next week maybe, and start writing like a kind of brief description for me, that would be lovely. Like that's a little bit of homework to do. Right, now you can think about it now if you got the space to be able to listen and do that at the same time. But if you want to work on it as homework, that's absolutely cool. Rook, did we find it?
Yes. So his wife was called was Naylan. I'll put that in the chat. Naylan.
Naylor. Oh, thank you.
And his daughter was Morrigan.
Morrigan.
And somewhat named after Morrigan. His wife was funny enough, was a tabaxi. And I think that's why he has kind of a soft spot for Nyala.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Morrigan was the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that she didn't talk about much where she was from. Your wife, Naylan. She was just happy with the here and now, and didn't really engage much with the times beforehand. Oh, hold on, we got a little bit of chatter going on, Leo. Yeah, and she kept that kind of secretive and was more concerned with her love for you and the love for the little one and the farm here, and would get a little bit cagey in a mothering sort of way whenever, where you're from, what are your family like, that kind of thing, in a mothering, and it would always cause an argument, Rook. It would always be whenever you tried to push it, she would get very upset, and sometimes you wouldn't see them. You wouldn't engage with them. They would go and do their own thing and come back a day or two later, and sorries would be said. But you're a questioning person. You would always want to know, and there was that air of mystique about her that you could never quite pin down, because the roots of someone is part of their tale. You only knew this part, and you didn't know the rest of the story. We'll move into the Great Library right now, to Nyala and Ser Van Arden, who have been deep in conversation with the Arch Mage Litiana. They have been questioning and probing her knowledge on all manner of topics, on the mysterious deserts, homelands destroyed, Rook's homeland no more. They have been probing the powers of the Dark Watchtowers, and something that she knows very little of. Only the monks of Kreen / Zimrica, or the monks of Earl, if we wanted to put them into the bigger bracket, know the intricate, detailed workings of. They have discovered quite a bit of information from them, where portals are located to travel to different places. They have found out there is one at Shardfell, but it's unconfirmed. There is a recently discovered portal that is in Southgate. There is one in the mountain of Taunge. There was one in the middle of the grasslands of Gregdon many hundreds of years ago, but they don't know of it now because the desert subsumes everything. And there's definitely portals in the forest of Gargamel. What else have we discovered? Oh, lots of stuff. You discovered Arden discovered that there is a topic that Litiana is uncomfortable with, and it's talking about the crystals.
Yeah.
No direct lies have been uncovered in the
Yeah.
conversation with a bloody nat 20 wah, 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 for the downtime. But there is no direct lie been told.
Discomfort.
Yeah, but definitely a discomfort, a caginess around the topic of the crystals.
More about the topic of her managing to
ascend to the weave.
Ascend to the weave and using the power of the crystals to do so, but not engaging directly with. Yeah, it's all very sus. Somebody wants to be a god.
Please, let's not have another crisis, please.
Yeah, well, yeah, lost the trust in her now. In downtime, the last thing Arden asked was about.
Missed it.
No, it was about the hushed, and you responded.
Yes, yeah.
And Litiana responded about basically the generic answer of what anybody that actually knows anything and has heard the terms. Insight. Is that all she knows? Is she?
Oh yeah, you can roll an insight if you want.
Yeah.
No, your insight's up. That was holding it for that conversation. It's
okay.
true.
So
it's true.
She doesn't know any more than that. Like
she
that's
does not know anything of the intricacies of the Dark Watch towers, or why the hushed must remain hushed, or why the boats return empty.
Yeah, and I think on the last one, I was trying for more information on this very curious artificer that she has been describing all the invention and everything, but not really telling more about the guy.
Okay, so she shows you, she picks up the Dwarven manual again that she showed you previously, the Dwarven tome, and opens them side by side with the Gnomish book. And you can see the two patterns. Both are imprints, both are schematics for building a cube. Building the cube that you have. One is definitely the ultimate copy, the original copy. You can see diagrams of spaces being folded and compressed and put inside. The other one shows the circular sections and the switching doors that the one that you have in your possession has, but it also shows the two chambers where there are specific places for demons to be imprisoned. And she says to you, Blint Froxerd was a genius, my dear. Absolutely the most brilliant of minds. But sadly, or maybe not so sadly, his mind consumed itself. He wanted to save everybody. Everyone. He built all manner of prosthetics, limbs, organs, hearts and heads and eyes. He rebuilt the war-weary so they might have some semblance of a normal life. He dreamt of saving all of Gregdon from the Great War. When it came, he shed 1,000 tears for every child, mother, husband that was lost. He couldn't watch it happen. He just couldn't. So he attempted to save it. And in that, he locked it away forever.
Are you saying that he tried to put all of Gregden, or in fact Earl, in a box? And it failed, and that's why Gregden is now desert.
Somewhat so. Half of the story. Nearly correct, my dear fragile-minded monk friend. He took Gregden, the center of it, and put it inside. And when the great mages came to battle, they fought over scraps and turned what was left, that barren earth, into naught but sand.
So you are telling me the place in that box is Gregden?
Yes.
And what was left behind is the desert?
Yes.
We have Gregden in a box.
Yes, I believe so.
That would mean they are lost in time. Either the time is going so fast or it's going so slow that none of this has happened yet to them. And what happened to the person that he made clones? Not even simulacrums, he made clones of those people.
What happened to the people? Did they go in the box also with all of Gregden, or did they perish?
Naught was left but blank earth when his experiment was triggered.
So everybody in Gregden went with it.
How do you explain Rook then?
The what?
Oh, just a friend that was from there. Do you think he managed to get out of the box or something like that?
It's damaged from the inside. The demons
Possibly.
are leaking.
This is another box. This is not the same box, I assume. But...
No. Look. She kind of takes the two pieces of parchment and lays them, kind of tuck the two books together. And you see that they perfectly map. But the prisons are additions.
There's a second box.
No, they're additions to this box. There's the original Froxert box. It's been edited by the gnomes.
So the Sletney's got the box from the dwarves.
From the gnomes.
Well, which one made it originally? Who added the dungeons? The dwarves or the gnomes? So the gnomes made the box, which now contains Gregden. Then the dwarves took it after being commissioned by the Sletneys to add a prison to it.
Close. The box was originally built by Blint Froxert in the original Dwarven Tome. The gnomes then edited and appended the prisons to it.
And then the dwarves did what?
And that's when the Sletneys got a hold of it.
So, actually, the thing that we see in the carts, in the prison through the windows.
It's Gregden.
Oh, shit.
If time moves faster outside than inside, Rook's family is still in that box.
Very much so. They are trapped, but I don't think time is going faster. I think there are patches of time, different time in that box, and they are set in these times, very dispatched and scarce.
But if the demons are leaking through, then the integrity of the box is at risk, and all of Gregton could just be wiped out. So
we need to
we
go
have
see
to
the
go back
Sletneys.
in and fix the demon problem.
We need the Sletney's blood.
We need Jess.
Yeah. This is a mess. What are we going to need to? Fine. We came for answers and we just have even more questions and problems.
Litiana, this information could have been a lot more useful before we went to go and get the box.
The information was always here.
Your lack of volunteering information to those people trying to help is inconvenient.
I believe one must learn the lessons for themselves.
People
And
don't know
ask.
the right questions to ask, then they're never going to get the answers.
You found your way, did you not?
And we lost people along the way. That might have been avoided if we knew more.
I do have one question, so one very last question that is, consider me selfish for asking, but is it possible to become one with fire?
One with fire. I have heard of some druids who can change their very form. They become an element for some time. The more powerful they become, the longer they may maintain that shape.
I am searching to become one with fire, in fact, but my question should be this one. Can it be possible to be one with silver fire?
With
The
silver fire.
The very boon that Corellian gives to the champion of magic. The one thing he accords them, he gives them when they become such, to protect magic and more.
I suppose if you are smiled upon by one, if she kind of glances up, such a being were to look upon you favorably.
I think I've had just about enough chat of becoming one with this and becoming one with that today.
All things are possible, my dear.
Not all things should be.
I promise, Arden, it's not a bad thing. It really isn't.
I see that Van Arden tires of our conversation.
We should go.
Very well. Please, visit me again soon. I have much work to do. Now that the threat from the west is past.
You're welcome.
Oh, you have my greatest thanks and respect.
If you think the threat is over, there is another alignment on the horizon, and there are others attempting to do whatever they can with these shards. The Moor is doing something in the east. They might have missed their window with Melora's eye, but they will not miss their next one.
2 months, that's all we up.
We thought we'd lost the ticking clock, and now we're back on one. Litiana, if you have any information about what is happening on the east, I will ask you to volunteer it this time.
In the east. To enlighten me. Do you mean the lights in the sky?
The lightning, the Moor, the crazy fucking warlocks, the people that have spent too much time around this evil fucking shit. Yes, I mean them.
The crystal will corrupt the flesh of those willing to partake of it, to be turned by it. They long for power and are promised it in whispers in their ears. That is why I do not dare deal with such magic, with such malice. However, those hungry for power or those who crave positions of splendor and grandeur, it can easily turn.
I watched my entire people turned into monsters because they resisted it.
That was...
If you think it will stop at Simrica, and you think that's the end of the Moor's plans, then you're not as smart as I thought.
Oh no, we watch it with great interest. The pieces are on the board, as they might say, and they move. You are a piece, and so am I, and they're just waiting for kings to topple, empires to fall.
How old are you?
On this world, I have been round its sun, some 300.
Is it normal?
I don't know what that is anymore.
You tell me. Right, I think we had enough emotion for the day. Let's go, and promise you I'm not going to talk magic when we get back to the tavern.
Farewell. Oh, and Trink will be most upset, Van Arden.
What?
Trink. The gnome on the desk.
Why?
What did you do?
Could you just hand it back?
Arden, what did you do?
Trying to remember what I did a while
You
back.
picked the card for...
What did I do?
You took a reference card.
Or
Library.
For some
oh
reason, I think.
yes. No, I remember.
Arden.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I remember now. God, that was a while ago. Oh God, I did that.
It is linked to this place.
I thought libraries were meant to be where you could borrow things and return them.
You may read here the references.
I'll return it on my way out.
Thank you, my.
What did you take?
Tell me later. Let's go.
You proceed down through the several rooms and then out through the elevator, down through the steps, and are in the grand hall with the gnome behind the counter, furiously searching through the cabinet that opened far too wide, that they were stuck inside of, and that you rescued them from. And then looking in that one where they fell, but also the drawer where you took a card from is also open. Now, you would make the assumption that they're searching for where they got stuck, that their card might have been mislaid.
Are you looking for
What
this?
you've done.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you very much. Marvelous. Marvelous. Let's put that into a... They get down the stool. They slide the stool over to the front counter. They climb up on the stool. They grab your face. They kiss you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's get out. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
I just, I think it might have fallen out the drawer when in the commotion. Yeah. Bye. See you later.
She's just dragging Arden and this like.
It's like it was like if you were to kiss a giant raisin.
Yeah. I'm just, yeah.
What was that?
Look, I might have tried to take something that didn't belong to me. All right.
I swear to God, you should have not a rogue. First the knives, then this.
I think after this last conversation with Litiana, we can resoundly say that she cannot be trusted.
It pains me to say it, but yes.
I was looking for information on my home, on Kareen, on Zimrika. She is obviously not willing to part with information, unless pressed.
For her, information and knowledge is power. We tend to be like that from time to time, us wizards.
Not like me pressing her about the crystals. She knows more than
I
she's
am
letting
aware.
on.
Do not take me for a fool, would you? I have eyes, I have a mind, and what they see and hear doesn't like it. I may appear friendly, but I am not.
300 years on Earl. At this point, I think she's just more of a spectator, biding her time. You saw the way she spoke about us like we were pawns on a chess table.
She's not a being of this world. Keep that in mind.
Exactly. She looks below us.
You meet
Arden.
her. Oh.
Arden, just one thing. Is there something you want to tell me that I will keep secret that you don't want to tell the others?
Not that I can think of right now, no.
None about the towers or anything?
They're very secretive.
I'm aware. That's...
Litiana seems to not know. And I would like it to stay that way.
You know, keep my secrets in my grave, right?
There are some things that protect this world that are bigger than the trust between you and me.
It's not just trust, believe me. But if it comes to us knowing something, me knowing something, I want you to do one thing. If I were to trespass or get captured, I want you, if I were to die, to burn everything that I would own except for my book, my spell book. Every inches of me has to disappear in ashes and cinders. So that way, no one could abuse my tongue or my mind beyond my death. I would be in no way possible joinable in the afterlife to speak. I want to disappear from the planet completely and utterly.
Well, look, this took a really weird turn right now. I'm not 100% sure why that suddenly came about, but sure. You want me to burn your body when you die? Absolutely fine. I'll do that.
Scatter the ashes. I don't want them to be found.
That's all right. That's okay. Not a problem.
Also, one thing. If I were to die, don't remind me. I died. I died. I wouldn't revive you or any of the others if it was the case.
Okay.
It's just like life and death. It's just such a very
Ray seems pretty good
balance.
at blowing things up by the looks of him tinkering with shit recently. Then if something happens to you, then I'll leave it to him.
Yeah.
We should probably tell Rook what's happened.
He's not going to like it.
Really good at
let's put a couple of beers in him, and then maybe break the news that we're carrying around his family in a box.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to tell him?
Rook and Ray,
should I?
you've been sitting in the yak for most of the morning, gathering your thoughts, thinking back over times past. Rook, you thinking of the things that we just discussed, and Ray, you thinking of the things you discussed, and those times that you had in Gargamel. And obviously, I've just remembered about one of your friends was a druid named. It was an elf from Marmiala, named Plumby, and
that was the one.
That was some of the backstory we wrote. I think Plumebea, like Plumby. So that might be a name that we want to revisit, or maybe find when you head back to Gargmar, if you ever should do so. You've been sitting kind of in silence, lost in your own thoughts, and you see Nyala and Van Arden enter in some sort of discussion with. What's your insights, you two, please? Passives, please. No, Ray and Rook.
12.
12.
Oh, same as Rook.
You would get the air that there has been some sort of awkward discussion happened. You would also get, Rook, how much have you had to drink?
What time is it?
Midday, 1 o'clock.
Midday, 1 o'clock. 2-3 pints, maybe?
2 or 3 points. Okay.
Not a lot for Rook.
No, you got high con, haven't you?
Ray is currently
make me a con roll. Let's see how this has hit you today. Just make me a con roll. See how we'll use it. Just
straight con.
Yeah, we're just rather than a save, just a con and add your combos.
16.
Okay, so you're steady still. Maybe a little bit flush the cheeks, maybe a little bit. The shoulders have kind of drooped a little bit. Some of the bristle has gone out of your bugbear fur. And Ray, you don't drink, do you? I don't think Ray drinks.
He doesn't trust what he'd do if he had alcohol in him.
Yes. Okay. So it's more of a calculated decision rather than I'm teetotal because of this, but you done it because you don't know quite what you'll blow up.
He has a bag full of explosives and robots. He just wants to be clean-minded.
Yeah.
Flammable liquids and no.
A dude who's tend to explode things is a bad idea to put together.
You might understand that there's a bit of sheepishness not sheepishness, but apprehension about their form as they come in, both of you. and they join you at the table.
As they walk in,
Litiana is at the bar. Litiana is just chatting to Ed quietly.
How did she came
Do you
up
mean
this
Treese,
fast?
not Litiana?
Not Litiana, sorry.
I was going to say, like, fuck.
Oh, sorry.
It's fast.
It's all right.
I do apologise.
Like,
Ijara.
bam!
Ijara, sorry.
She's got teleportation circles at every building in the city.
Yeah, that's like, I need a drink after that conversation. Shit,
Treese has got one.
They're at my favourite bar. No, sorry. Ijara. Labsharon is sat at the bar.
Ijara.
Yeah, is having a conversation.
As you walk in, Ray is trying to convince Rook to let him test something.
Oh God.
Okay, let's have this conversation.
There's like a half-built gauntlet on the table, and he looks up at Rook and goes, "So I built a thing, and I want to see how good it works."
Okay, so
And I try it.
what is it?
It makes it harder for people to react, and it's painful, but it shouldn't kill people. Definitely shouldn't kill people. Less than lethal.
So, what, you just wear it on your hand?
Yeah, and then you punch people, and then it zaps them. Tasered them.
And you want to try that on me?
Well,
Get me to try it on you?
It'll be difficult to try it on you to try it on me. It's a little finicky to work.
It's just punching, really, isn't it?
I'm sorry,
Okay,
we just walked into a
mechanically-
conversation here. Who's punching who? And please let it be Rayla punching you.
Mechanically, it's a cantrip, and I don't think I can give him my ability to cast my spells.
No. You cannot.
Rena, what did you build?
He holds his hand up together and presses a button, and the lightning goes between his fingers.
I mean, I really want to see this happen. Rook?
Fine, you get one shot.
Looks like a shocking grabs. No, Rook, no.
But, one condition. Out back.
Yeah,
It's not explosive, I swear.
No, we've pissed off Treese enough right
No.
now. We're doing stuff in the pub. Let's.
No violence in the pub. Out
we
back.
should. Yeah, let's. Yeah. So we wander
Alright,
outside.
roll for
Let's
attack
go
or
out. Let's go out back to the yard where the deliveries are dropped
Come
off.
on then.
Where are you guys going now?
Well,
I'm
back
gonna-
in a minute.
something.
We're gonna go and watch Rayla punch Rook.
Shit, I'm coming to watch that too. That'll be
No,
fucking awesome.
no. Therese needs you at the bar, and you don't want to see this.
Why
And you
does
don't want to
Ijara? Why does
smell
Treese need
it.
Ijara at the bar?
Yeah, well, what does Trees need to shower?
I mean, I know she's been a steady stream of income since she got here, but
Look, I'm just spending coin. Don't mock me. I like the drinks. The Rook Brew is most fantastic. The other things that Ed has been mixing, what do you call them? Tails of cocks?
oh god.
Cocktails.
Ah, this is it. This is it, Rook. Cocktails. They are most like refreshing. Like you can't even taste like that. It is even getting you a little bit squiffy, you know?
That's the last thing we need with you. But I suppose as long as you're spending money on Rook Brew and it's going to Treese and to Rook,
Yep.
you're my
that's
guest.
Fine by me.
Hey, I might be paying for your retirement, huh?
Yeah,
And-
basically.
So we was there,
Right.
on top of the list. And she carries on just chatting to Ed. Ed's leaning
What was
over.
she saying? On top of the lich? Is that what she was saying there? what kind of
Cheeky.
stories is Jara saying?
Cheeky.
Taking the
No, she's
glory
saying,
of shit.
we're there, on top of the mountain, fighting
Oh,
the lich.
okay. I thought she said lich. I was just
I
like,
thought she said on top
taking
of
the
ledge.
Ledge.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh dear.
That's what I meant to say. Maybe I said that. Maybe it was maybe that's the X-rated version that no, sorry.
No,
You
we
head
don't need
outside,
fanfic.
down the back.
Right.
You have access to the stowage area, well renowned for cheese stowage. And
Can we just make sure there's no goods anywhere near this?
You clean a
Right.
small space in the
Yeah.
center.
It's not an explosive, I promise.
No.
No, we
it's-
just don't
no.
want another cheese incident.
Look, he does not need to know. We said we wouldn't discuss this again.
You
There's a line drawn under it.
Rayla, after you.
let's just
Rook's
say
gonna
I,
kind of-
there is a reason why.
Is it
I
like this,
think-
Rook? Is it like hands up, or is it like just forwards? How do you do it?
So
Ray
Rook's
holds
gonna
at his
kind
hand like
of
he's going to shake your hand. Ray holds at his hand like he's going for a handshake.
Oh no.
Rook's just gonna kind of just slap himself a little bit. Rook is going to rage. Kind
Okay.
of like work himself up.
Okay, yeah. Rook rages.
And then kind of put his hands behind his back and kind of go on, fucking do it.
It's like teenagers with an electric fence. You touch it. No, you touch
He
it.
goes. He holds out his hand like he's going to shake somebody's hand, and then you do the rage thing, and instead he just pops you on the nose.
And what do you cast
It's
on
just
Rook?
like, do I roll to hit? Because I don't think I should roll to hit for this
I
one.
think this is a voluntary thing, so
Yeah.
it will auto hit, but please roll the damage and tell us what the effect of it does.
Is it a spell attack, not a saving throw?
If
Damn.
I'm right, it's shock and grab, so yes, it is an attack roll.
He takes 6 lightning damage.
How much?
6.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Ah, that's piss.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's only a little bit.
Rook's fur just goes static.
Yeah.
Do you think some of them actually like frizzle and like just cooked and it smells like burnt fur?
Burnt fur, yeah. Is
Yeah, Nyala is hiding behind Harden like
is that it?
I
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
really
that's why I
like
wanted to just do it in the. That's why I just wanted to do it in the bar.
I thought you were going to.
Oh, by the way, when you go to say "Is that it?" it doesn't come out right.
Is that it?
And then
Right,
I just like smack it beside the head and try and provoke an opportunity attack.
I can't move my tongue.
Hey, you know when people are fighting you and then they try and take a swipe as you run off? Yeah, it won't happen now. His brain's pudding for
No?
like a few seconds.
So yeah,
About
Ray
6
jumps back
seconds
from
go
you.
by.
Actually, no, I'm going to take advantage of this right now. Rook, we found your family.
Move.
we more specifically we found your
Praise God.
home, as a matter of fact.
What?
Yeah, they're alive. At least we think so.
And she get out the cube.
What?
And you see
Gregden.
behind you Arden parked in the cart also.
Gregden, you know when we look out the windows of the cart, when we looked out the windows in the box, it's Gregden. It was taken out of space and time and put in that box, and a desert was left in its wake. Somehow you are here and not in there, but your home is in there, and everybody that lived there is in there, and time moves slower in there than it does out here. So maybe your family's in there.
You regain the hit points, by the way.
It was made by a guy called Blint Floxert.
Rook, that pings.
He was trying to save a lot of people from the war.
Say that again.
Blint Floxert, he did a lot of prosthetics. He helped fallen soldiers and helped people that were in the war, innocent families that had had their lands ravaged and things like that. And then in a last-ditch attempt, he created this box and basically removed all
I
of
think I might have
Gregdon,
read some of his work.
leaving an empty battlefield for Canus and Sorthal to butcher each other on.
So, let me get this straight. You have heard that my family is in that box.
Well, we've heard that all of Gregdon is in this box from back during the war, a time when it was green, and all the people disappeared with it, and it's in here. So if we can fix the demon problem and get access to the rest of it, maybe you can see them again. Hell, maybe if we find somebody smart enough or more powerful enough, maybe we can put it back. I don't know, that's me just skepticizing, but at least it's here. And if we can go in and out, then maybe other people can come in and out.
I think you broke him. Just let him breathe.
Light snow begins to fall.
How long does it? Rook just stares off into space, and I'm there like, that wasn't my fault.
We need to speak to the Sletneys. If we can get them to fix the boundaries on the dungeon, then maybe the problems that were in there, maybe we can then access the rest of it. The part we were in is such a small part. It was added on by the gnomes afterwards that built the library.
How close is Rook to, like, the city walls? Are we near to the city walls or not?
It's a good run to the walls. You'd have to get out of the inn and run for maybe 10 minutes.
We're on the southern part of the city, aren't
Yeah,
we? But it's still further back.
Okay. As Rook, literally, George doesn't know what to say. Rook doesn't know what to say. You kind of just see him kind of stare at the space kind of to the side of Arden's head. So he's kind of listening to what Arden's saying, but kind of staring off into the distance just behind him.
Yala's going to give the box to Arden and try to approach Rook, like put a hand on his arm and like, Rook. Hey, buddy.
Kind of close to the Rook, he kind of just collapses to his knees.
Oh, okay. I'm here. She's trying, and she hugs him. I'm here. It's okay. We're going to find a way. We always find a way, remember?
You're saying that there's a chance?
Yes.
There's a chance I can...
Yes. There is hope.
If all of Gregdon is in there and the people survived, we know the land and everybody that was on it disappeared.
I was in there for like 5 minutes, and apparently 100 years went by. They might not even notice that time had gone by.
See, there is hope. I can see them.
Who told you? Who told you this?
Litiana. She showed us the schematics.
You see his face kind of change to more kind of angry.
Rick, please, I beg you, no.
I know.
She's
hiding shit.
She knew how to get in. She knew they were there.
She knew a lot. She knows a lot. She's still holding things back. She can't be
Oh,
trusted.
then shut up. I beg you, Rook. No. No. You can be angry all you want. But right now, if you turn that anger towards her, we are done.
I don't know how many interactions Rook and Litiana have really had previously. So she doesn't really know much of you and where you're from. So even so, there is obviously the secrets that Nyala and Bernarden have.
I want to talk to her.
Okay, I wouldn't talk to her right now. I think I've pissed her off enough. She pissed me off a lot. She knew right before we were going to get the box exactly what it was and what it had in it. And she decided not to tell us that. She also knew about the fact that it needs Sletney blood, and she decided not to tell us that.
So she's known since we were first here.
She doesn't know you. I haven't told her your name or who you are. She doesn't know.
That's not the point. Surely if she knows that there is an entire landmass of people trapped in this box, even if it has the slightest thing to do with us, surely she should know. We should have been told.
She doesn't care.
I need to talk to her.
She has
No.
a strange obsession with becoming one with the weave. She wants to ascend. She wants to be practically a magical fucking god.
No, that's not how it works.
I do not trust her.
So angry she dropped her camera.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
I
not
don't think
how
any of us
fucking-
should speak to her and antagonize her at any point. She is incredibly powerful. She is over 300 years old alone on this planet.
So have I.
Okay.
Apparently.
Not now.
We need to play this smart. We need to find out more. We need to be careful. I think I can speak to Gretch. Maybe find out more about the inner workings of the city, the council. How come she's so powerful here? Why is she here and not elsewhere on Earl? If she's such a magic chaser.
All of us wizard are. The ultimate goal for a wizard is either knowledge or magic. Be one with magic doesn't mean that you become a god. Aftermark never told you how magic, also little magic, works.
Having all the answers, having all the knowledge, and having all the power, and then doing nothing to help other people with it.
There are limits to magic, to power, to whatever the weave can obtain you. If you become magic, you become one with Corellin.
How is that
Corellin
going to help anybody else?
the weave.
Exactly. And she wants to become one with it.
That
Do you
doesn't
think
mean
there's
she's
going to be
going to
room for
have
more
a
than one god?
conscience.
She doesn't have one now, from what I've seen. She put us on a fucking sled and sent us out to the mountains to fight a fucking lich without no information, making us think that she knew nothing, offered nothing, no help. She has an agenda.
And you think the monks aren't doing the same thing, retaining informations?
The monks
help
have
us?
retained information to save this planet for fucking centuries.
Oh,
Without
really?
people
And maybe
knowing.
she's not doing the same. Look, it's a fucking long day. It's a
Why do you
nerve-wracking.
trust this woman?
I don't trust her, but I need her.
No, you don't. You've
Yes,
never
I do.
needed her.
I do now for the group. I need her for everyone. I need her for myself too, because I feel like just discovered is that I'm just way more of a freak than I knew that I was.
Keep her at arm's distance. Do not trust her.
Keep your friend close. Keep your enemy even closer.
She knows you're powerful.
Oh. I'm not powerful compared to that. I'm just a mere drop in the sea of what she can do.
She's been playing with the crystal's power. What makes you think she won't play with yours?
Because if she tries to play with me, that means she's going to have to enter my mind. And my mind is a maze that even myself cannot enter safely without becoming even more mad than I'm already am because of the fucking pain that I am each and every day.
Getting to a point where we can't see the forest through the trees here.
Yeah. Let's stop here for today.
I think we all need to avoid her for a short while. I'll have a chat with Gretch. I want to know what he thinks of Litiana. What do the rest of the council think of her?
You see Arden as he's having this conversation. He holds that puzzle box in his hand where Niala had given him it.
Arden.
She won't help us. She's made that abundantly clear.
Are you saying you think my family's in there?
I hope your family's in here.
We need to go to the Sletney first. Rick, you have to know. Only their blood can actually repair the prison.
But I'm still holding on to it. If my family's in here, I'm protecting this.
I wouldn't trust anybody else with it if it was mine. If I had Zimrica in a box.
You ate your family.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'll leave her alone for now. That you have my word. If it comes to it, and she fucks with us again, I'm burying my hammer deep in her head.
We cannot.
Please don't.
I understand your anger. I do, but we cannot be irrational with this. We have to be careful.
That's why I'm saying that I'll leave her for now. I'm being rational.
I wouldn't be if I was in your situation.
Trust me, it's taking a lot to not go over there and kill her right now.
Good, you're showing growth. Ray, what did you want to say?
Can I come to Gretch with you?
Sure.
Okay. And
Although,
how
I've
we
just
gonna
got to
get
get
the
a
blood
bottle of
us
wine.
right now?
Well, it's not the literal blood, as long as a Sletney passes within the walls. It's not about the physical blood. It's about
entering the whole
Jess
thing.
is inside.
He puts a knife away.
Magic.
Give me that. I swear, you two with knives. I am not trusting you. Give me the knife.
One time.
Yes, and
You've seen
that
me use
caused us a
one
lot of
since.
trouble.
Look, man, I have knives. It's a thing. You know you can't take all of them.
I will try, or I will melt them in your pouch. Give me.
Okay.
Ray.
I hand her the knife.
Yeah, so the way it works is if we get Jess into the cube and she wanders around and goes around all the wards, apparently her just being a Sletney, it's the wards are something to do with her very blood. So if she's in there, it restores that connection, it restores that ward, and hopefully it should imprison the demons. And if that fixes the place, then maybe we can access the rest of the box.
I just need one slight tangent. You do realize if you keep taking my weapons in a fight, I'm basically going to be useless, right?
I am going to give them back to you when we are outside of the city. Both of you.
I don't need a... Okay, right, whatever. Right. Rook, do you want a drink?
Do I breathe air?
For now.
That's a yes. But
Let's grab...
think about it.
Well, hold on. Why don't we all go and see Gretch?
Tonight?
Yeah.
No offense,
1 o'clock in the
Arden,
afternoon.
but none of us have the head for this. I think we need a very big distraction and very fast, or I'm going to blow up.
It is lunchtime.
Isn't it like
What
1
were you?
o'clock in the
What are you?
afternoon?
What are you thinking? What's a distraction? It's Kansas.
The campsite itself is a big distraction.
True. And that's why I thought going and speaking to Gretch.
Perhaps maybe a bath. Like, it's been a while since we actually bathed.
Me and Rook did go to a nice bathhouse once.
That was it.
Like yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was yesterday.
You went?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we.
That's Dr. Nell. He was
we
very
had a-
nice.
Yes, we had a chat with the bard. Nothing more.
Oh. Okay. Just look, we are all filthy. Of course, I'm filthy. We should go have a scrub.
You look at Rook when you say that, and you're used to seeing Rook filthy. Rook is not. Rook is pretty clean. I mean, clean-ish for Rook, you know.
Nyala, don't you have a spell that does all that for us?
Yes, but that doesn't take away the smell.
Yes, it does.
You smell
I can do that.
horribly.
I can do that.
There we go then.
Don't.
And I'm not even
I'm not
a
gonna-
wizard.
I don't want to spend my money on a local baths. If he can flick his fingers and boom, I'm clean.
What
I
about
can
the
make it
filling
smell
of warm water?
I'll pee on you.
You.
Makes things rough.
Don't.
It's warm and water.
I am not your property.
Right up. No holds barred for Rook. I love it.
I didn't
am-
see that one coming.
I am not your property. I am not your territory. You will not do that.
You said
Yeah,
you
like,
wanted warm water on
if
you.
you want to go to the baths, you go to the baths. I'm gonna grab a few bottles of wine from the bar. Ray, if you want to come with, I'm gonna go and see Gretch. Rook,
Sure.
might be beneficial for you to come along.
If it's all the same to you, I think I need a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's decide where everyone's going. Arden and Ray to Gretch. Nyala baths?
No, she's going to follow.
To
You
which?
know what? No, she's going to stay with Rook.
You're gonna say Rook. Okay.
Just
Rook,
in
Rook,
case.
where do you potter to?
Rook's just gonna want to go off on his own.
Okay.
She's going to follow anyway.
So you're gonna have to stealth and follow them. So Rook passive and Nyala stealth.
Okay. Oh. Those doesn't doing me dirty.
Rook's passive perception is even higher than that.
You're seeing Nyala
Mm.
as you start beginning to follow Rook as he leaves the cheese stowage area.
I just have this mental image of Rook just trundling along, and then he just turns around, and Yala's there just trying to step her paw prints into his paw prints,
Yeah.
thinking she's being really like stealthy, even though she's in plain sight.
Nyala, just give me some time, please.
I'm not going to talk.
No.
It's just that since last time you went on your own, I just it's hard
Right.
on me a lot.
I will stay in the city. Please, I just need some time.
Even if I don't talk and I say a safe distance.
No.
It's just I don't want.
Yala, are you coming?
Shit.
As you
Please
kind
come
of-
to my room later.
As you kind of look back to hear Arden's voice, you look back towards Rook and he's gone.
And he's gone. And she zoom after the other.
Rook, as you've sprung yourself onto a rooftop and have sort of hidden yourself round the a sticking out kind of window and managed to scrabble your way up there without Nyala seeing where you go. Where do you head, Rook? I'm curious. I'd love to know.
Just on the roof of the yak.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on the side that's away from where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And
So they're heading north. You're looking towards the south. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rook kind of pulls out this cube, and he starts to almost talk to it as if he's talking to his wife.
Oh.
And I've been trying to find what to say when I first see you again, if first see you again, but words escape me. I never thought that there'd be a chance that I could see you, but now I'm being told that there is, and it's terrifying. What if I see you and you don't recognize me, or I don't recognize you? You are the sole reason that I've kept going. Sole reason that I've not been overly stupid or reckless. I'm going to find a way to bring you out. Even if it's just you and Morrigan. I'll bring you out. And we'll do things properly this time. No war, no fire bombs. We'll find a cute little cottage out in the snow and stay there. And he kind of finishes talking, and you just see him crying. And he just stays there.
Rook, there is a thing you notice when you finish this conversation and kind of, as you're sat cross-legged and you're holding the cube, just turning it, and then you kind of place it towards your lap where your pouches are located. You feel the chattering, the grinding of teeth in your pocket. Luke, let's go. Van Arden and Nyala and Rayla are heading towards Gretch's place. Are you? It's daytime, so you think he's going to be on site working? It's Gretch. Well, it never stops for this goblin.
Wait for me.
Yeah. You catch up and you start walking through the streets of.
God, you're going too fast for me, Arden.
No, you're almost as quick as I am.
No, I'm not.
Almost. I didn't say I was quick.
Just brag. Keep bragging. One day I'll go run faster than you.
We'll see. Look, let's not bring up the whole Litiana subject right away. All right, wait for me to bring it up. We'll approach it slowly. The best way to deal with Gretch is buy anything. It's transactional, hence the wine. Ray, you seem to have gotten to grips with your tools since we've relaxed a little bit in the city.
Well, I was hoping Phil I'm hoping to build a few things while I have the ability to have a workshop. I'm hoping of opening one.
Bring scraps. All right.
He does the two, which I
Gretch
can't
will
do.
love this shit. Like he is, you're magical. Fucking tinkering. What all this crap that you can do. Like
He does the whistle thing that I cannot do.
yeah.
And then you just hear.
It's like a tin can. It's like a bunch of tin cans being dropped down the stairs. Like
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
yeah, comes clattering towards you, and there's this grinning mechanical beast.
And then he goes into his bag and pulls out like a bird version, and holds it like a rugby ball. Any little helps, right? I have a few of them. It's a specialty.
That's beautiful.
You'll like this. And he holds the bird in his hand, and then like flicks the back of its head, and a beam of light comes out.
Interesting.
Shoot lasers.
Interesting. You have insulted magic in those. Huh.
He takes the head off and hands it to you, and it appears to be carved opal. And you can feel the magic in the opal.
Okay. Look, Gretch is gonna love
I need
this.
that back though.
All right. We need to let's play this gently. All right.
Oh,
I doubt Gretch knows about the box and its history.
Mm-hmm.
That's potentially information that we can barter for
Right.
an insight into the city and his opinion on
Right.
Litiana and whatnot.
He says, "Be gentle."
Huh?
Oh, when he says, "Let's play it gently," he looks at Scraps and says, "He said, be gentle. Behave."
But that's a good kitty.
Yeah, when you tell him to be good, that's the entire purpose of telling him to be good. Otherwise, it's just destruction.
That's not true. They know how to behave. Don't you, Scrap?
I literally built the thing so.
Yeah. I've seen weirder.
No,
I've seen
you're
how many
telling me how
weird
it acts.
shit
I
I have
literally programmed
seen
the
on
thing.
the ocean.
I know,
That's
but
nothing.
don't tell me how the thing I built works. I already know how it works. Genuinely, tell it to destroy and it'll just destroy shit. You got to tell it to be good.
All right, guys. Like, I appreciate the
Be good.
camaraderie here. But yeah, maybe Gretch will be able to help you source parts, materials, and give you a little bit more insight into the workshops at the towers. Maybe they can give you a space to work. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I need that back, Nyala.
Okay.
Or else it won't work anymore. And you just hold a headless mechanical bird. It's like, I don't need it back. He puts it around his neck. Because literally I have one.
Right. Let's go and have a look then.
You make your way to the amethyst towers, and as usual, there is the smell of various sulfurous chemicals and strange puffs of smoke coming out of some of the windows. You realise that the walls go round in like a triangular shape, but you also none of you ever seen the courtyard in the centre. Like you realise that each of these lengths that go off from the main tower that you enter, there's a left one and a right one. You've only ever been down the right hand side one, and there doesn't seem to be any way to get into the left hand one from this from this portion that you enter into. You enter into the shopping mall-esque kind of interior where there are two lines that go along to the next pillar along, which is the central area where you have previously bargained with Gretchen, procured things from behind his magically shielded bars and area where he's locked away, and you can see beyond it the racks and racks of objets d'art, magical things, and dull items. And the upper balcony that surrounds you, you can hear kind of the clinking of bottles and the tightening of screws, and you can again the smell of powders and chemicals and raw magical ingredients are strong in this place. And you walk up to the bar, walk up to the booth, as you might want to call it, and Gretch is just sat there behind, turning over a piece of crystal in his long thin fingers with his magical eyeglasses that he wears. Are you knocking, Niala?
No, I'm actually signing for Adam to do it, since he is more.
I have to who's going first.
First.
Oh, I would recognize that voice anywhere. There's the glass in the head. Seven, Arden. A pleasure once again to meet your acquaintance.
We bought wine.
Oh, a social occasion, not for business.
Maybe a bit of both.
And he turns his head and looks behind you.
I bought friends.
What?
Hi again.
Move aside.
Oh.
What?
Hello, Gretch.
Move aside, dwarven person. What is that? And he gestures towards Scraps.
Scraps. Say hello, Scraps. Hello, just like waves one hand.
Fascinating. Hold on. Reaches up, takes a sign, flips it over, and it says out to lunch. Just 1 second. And you see him jump down from the stool, vanishes from sight. And a door appears in the side of the chamber. Like there's kind of like a curved wall like that. On the front of it is Gretch's little hole, and on the side a door kind of peels away, and you see that there's a way to kind of move into the inner parts of the Amethyst Towers. Do come in. I'm just stoking the fire.
Okay.
Remember, everyone, please be polite. Yes.
I'm always polite.
I'm always polite.
Mm.
What?
I only blow things up when they're required. Walk through the door.
It's not my fault people are bitchy.
I'll take your
I think that's what
explosions
you
and
mean.
sarcasm any day. Right.
You can't take me.
The Death Nest. Wait.
As you kind of walk in, there's like a corridor that follows the curve of the building round. But as soon as you're in this place, it smells fantastic. Like, it smells like peaches, like fruity, sweet smell in the air. There is plush textured wallpaper that is in green and gold striping coming down it with sort of filigrees that spin off. The carpet is so thick of a pile that some of your boots sink into it. Niali, are you wearing boots? You got cold weather gear on still? Yes, you probably do. But
Yeah, but she doesn't wear boots. She just wears like
your feet, without you realizing, start to pudding. As you literally, it is almost like an involuntary action. Your claws just start like coming out on every step, like every step's a little doot 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 doot, and it's something that you can barely overcome as you walk around, and you walk to a space that Arden is familiar with, and Nyala is familiar with when you were here before. There's a fireplace and some chairs. A couple of stools have been pulled up as well. But there are
Ray sees how.
Sorry, Ray.
When Ray sees how good it is, he just like freezes for a second and looks down at the thing made out of razor wire and tetanus. Don't touch anything.
The Scritches gives you like, it kind of retracts its claws a little bit.
Scraps is doing the same thing Nyala's doing.
Yeah, but he's actually like cutting through.
Right.
It stops. The claws retract. It cocks its head, looks abashed and really pissed off. If that can happen, it doesn't have lips really, but if it could like scowl, it's doing that in whatever robotical fashion it can do. You start. Go on.
Nyala's purring though, like very loudly.
The noise goes from engine block to goes from chainsaw to engine block. Like it just becomes worse, just a worse grinding noise.
The room that opens up is again similarly adorned. There is a beautiful portrait of Gretsch above the fireplace in his most handsome look, oil painting, ginormous thing, very much a vanity piece. 2 large wing-backed armchairs, a small table in between, a roaring fire. That he is just laying up a poker onto one of the, what do they call them? They call them a companion, I think, a fireside companion, where he hooks the poker and says, "Arden, take a seat. The rest of you, please, a stool if you like. And this thing, may I pay closer attention to it, Ray? You must
Carry
be
on.
Ray."
Oh, remember a few days ago when I came to you asking for parts?
Yes.
Oh, and he just points down at the mechanical cat.
Really?
Well, that and this, and he just starts unloading a bag of holding.
Hold on. We have lost some. We've got to hold on a second because we've got a tech problem. You've also gone on mute. Yeah.
Can somebody say something?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can someone say something now?
Hello.
There we go. Sorry, something happened there where my headset just decided to go, no, don't want to work anymore, and then it reconnected and now everything's back. Sorry.
That's okay.
Last thing I heard was like, take a seat.
Like, yeah, take a seat, and then he starts paying attention to Scraps. Ray has explained that Scraps is built out of the parts that Gretsch provided. Really? What fantastic artificery!
Well, Scraps plus, and then he takes out the mechanical bird, and then takes out a little spider, and just like it just keeps going as he basically unloads all the things it takes for him to spell.
Which ones are actually not spell effects? Which ones are actually automata in your arsenal?
2 out of them.
Okay, so Scraps.
And the homunculus servant.
Yeah, and the homunculus servant, which is, what does that look like? Tell me.
The bird thing.
The bird. Okay, cool. Fantastic. That's the bird thing. So those 2 he's most interested in, because the other ones cannot be removed from you, or you know what I mean. They are physical manifestations and not flavor. For mechanical purposes. These are the ones that he pours out.
One more level and then yeah.
What's that?
Oh, if you give me one more level, I can put my spells in an object. And
No.
give it to anybody.
No, but what I mean, the others are spell effects. Effectively, you are flavoring your spells.
Yeah.
These are actual physical constructions that mechanically are separate from you for the time being. For the time
being. But one more level, and I can put
I understand
any
that.
second level spell into a thing, and anyone can use it.
Yeah. So These are the
Looking
ones
forward to
he
that.
pulls over. The ones that you can create, something that you can manifest, something that might be worth coin, something that tickles his fancy. Can you make more things?
They're a little complicated, especially scraps. I'll probably build one, but controlling them's a bit of a thing. They tend to be
Have to necessarily be so complex. I mean, even just a small part of this or something similar.
Well, I have an. I don't have one with me. I'd require time and like a workshop. But he pulls out his idea book, which is like a leather-bound book full of like the things he can build, and he points towards the item I told you about, the mender pillar.
Yes.
The little mechanical thing that can cast mending. I want to build. I can build that too.
Really?
I don't have the bit.
And you need a workshop for this?
Yes. Well,
Hence why we're here. I thought maybe you'd be able to point him in the right direction. He has talent, and he needs somewhere to use it.
Gretch
I'm also really good with prosthetics.
Gretch puts a finger to his head. It just so happens one of our workshops has just become vacant.
Gretch, I'm also pretty good with prosthetics. If somebody needs a hand.
It might be a line of work that we might step into.
Why did I feel like somebody just got sacked?
Yeah, that's the same feeling. She's Arden's right, by the way.
Anyway, to the wine. Arden, would you?
Yes, certainly.
Would you be mother?
Can I, Nyola, can I have my knife back, please?
I pull out another knife and give it to Arden.
Thank you.
What?
You
two are horrible.
I'm just stealing them back. Out of character.
Oh, sorry, glasses. Glasses, my mistake. He walks to a panel on the wall and just kind of pushes it. It looks like just kind of architrave. And he pushes it, and it's this beautiful thing pushes out of the wall, opens up, and it's like crystal shelving filled with these beautiful like glass champagne and wine glasses, and he takes them with his long fingers and holds them between the finger like that, so the stem, he has like several stems between his fingers, and his large goblin hands can easily hold these two, like the bowls of them for each of you.
I thought you didn't drink, Arden.
I don't. The second bottle's just grape juice.
Oh.
Pour everybody some wine. I'll pour some grape juice out for Rayla and myself.
Why did you bring me the wine? I don't drink.
I thought you drank.
I don't.
Oh, well, shit, just spit it out.
Has drink.
She has drinks, but she doesn't do like once in a while, like very distant while. Because something happened.
You might as well drink, because this was the expensive stuff. Trees doesn't know who took it.
I don't drink. I'm going to get drunk. I'm not drunk.
Wine glass. So,
yes. He's distracted with kind of sorting out the glasses and stuff, and comes back with and what he comes back with is a small tray of canapes that look rather inviting. I thought we could do wine and nibbles.
Sounds delightful.
There's one thing that Scrap's pretty good at, though.
And the cat, yes.
And I look around. Is there like something small, like the equivalent of like a pen or something?
There is a small, delicate fork that looks like it's for picking up very small items from this tray. Maybe these tiny cubes of red and yellow jelly.
I pick up the tiny little fork and I snap it in half. And I hand the 2 parts to Scraps. And Scraps puts it back together again because he can. It's one of his things that he effectively can cast mending on his own.
While everyone is distracted by that, can I actually switch my my glass and others glass very discreetly?
With a stealth versus passive.
How much?
Is that
Stealth
sleight of
versus-
hand or stealth?
Oh yeah, sleight of hand versus passive.
Oh no.
Ah, shit. 14.
My passive is 15.
Ah.
You go to do it, but Ard just pushes the glass back
And
into
just
your
like,
hand.
yeah, I just like she swaps them, and then in mid conversation, I just swap them back.
Oh, so Diana thinks she's got the grape juice. That's even better. I like this.
Do I have to make a roll against that?
No,
just to see
no,
whether she
no. I think
notices?
that's part of her failing role is that you notice it and switch it back.
I mean, my passive perception is 18, so I think
I'll make a roll.
Sure.
Sleight of hand, yeah.
I wish I was doing this. I'm actually good at sleight of hand.
Dirty 20.
Oh, fuck off!
Yeah, you got the booze. So you begin sipping delicious grape juice, all of you, and Gretch is drinking this rather fine vintage. Oh, this is rather lovely. Where did you say you got it from, Arden?
A private supplier of juices.
Oh, you'll have to put me in contact. This is rather fruity in its.
I'll have to try the details from Teresa's dead corpse. She's very shrewd businesswoman.
Not an easy one to kill either. Not one that I would ever dare.
Yeah, I've seen her
Excuse me?
bedroom. It's
Not one I would ever dare to. I owe her much.
everybody seems to owe Teresa much.
She's a good woman.
Very resourceful, from what I can tell.
What else can I do for you while you're here? I'm sure this is not just the odd social nipping on an old friend. It's very nice of you to bring your cat.
Which one?
The robot.
I am going to fucking murder you in your sleep.
No.
The eyes of Gretch kind of look at Nyala. Oh, no, yes, the robot one.
I
Scraps
thought you might be interested.
Scraps fixes things. Bolts, the bird, can shoot lasers.
More fascinating by the moment.
And
Oh yeah, that was really the main of it. Just trying to see if Rayla had anywhere to work. And I thought,
we can provide space, yes, for a talented artificer of his caliber.
If you can cast magic, you can cast magic through the bird. It's a whole thing. It took me ages.
Do you have many artificers here in the towers?
Well, yes.
Many good artificers, or
he is trying.
Is this Malgon that we're talking about?
Oh dear God, no! Please say no.
No. I have politely declined Malgon's input to the alchemical towers.
Alright.
His resume was unsatisfactory.
I like the guy, but yeah.
He's not. Yeah.
I think he's more of a people person than technically minded.
A recent addition to Kikenzex, actually. She's not been with us long and is still practicing her craft, shall we call it. It's very rudimentary right now. Not half as interesting as Raylar's.
Well,
Are we
maybe.
still talking business?
Well, kind of, yes. I mean, maybe
I was
there's
wondering-
something you could share with this other artificer. Maybe two minds together might help growth for both.
Well, I'm an elf and I managed to build points and scraps in 4 years. Imagine what I could build in 600.
Well, I'm sure you'd need a lot more resources for that, and the resources don't come
Yes,
That's
cheap.
sort of the problem.
sadly, I will not be here to see that. Goblins do not live that long.
Neither do I.
Yeah, neither do I.
So
I think.
I wish you the best of luck with your future creations in the next many hundred years, but I'm not interested in those whatsoever. What I'm interested in are the brief creations that you may create in this lifetime. Would you like me to make introductions to...
I think that would
I
be
was
something nice to
wondering
be
if
arranged.
I would to sell you something in order to make startup money so I could build something for a friend.
Yes.
I take out what looks like some sort of fey nonsense. Looks like a carved head of a cat.
What is this?
Don't look at it. Make a
What
wisdom
is
saving throw.
this? Holds it at arm's length and doesn't put their eyes on it.
Oh, is this? Oh
Anyone who
God, I
looked
know
at
what
it is
this is.
stunned.
Sorry?
Anyone who looked at it is stunned. I'm not entirely sure how it works.
What is it? What spell?
The do-I doll of distraction.
It's the
The item
magic
you get.
weapon that you get. It's the magic
Oh, the
thing you gave him
doll.
with the card.
What is it that I'm holding? It feels damp.
Maybe look at it for a brief moment.
Anyone who looks at it kind of just stops. It
The
doesn't
goggles
last very long. And my computer just turned off.
I'm not looking.
You're with it. He puts his goggles back on. Ah. Oh. They couldn't have put it in anything nicer.
I
What do
know,
you mean?
it's terrible. It's not really me.
I'm sure
I
somewhere.
found it in the woods. Like 100 and something years ago.
He
It's
kind of,
antique. Must be worth more.
there is a certain market for these items, I'm sure. Just a second. He reaches into a breast pocket and pulls out like a napkin. And like it unfolds and unfolds and unfolds. The more he shakes it, and then he kind of folds the doll into it and ties the corners, and then he has it in the bag. Everyone may now look in this area. It's
Can I
away.
look?
You may look.
I mean, it's a little rudimentary, as you might think, but it's
No, it's
powerful.
not mechanical, and I can't figure out how it works. There's no thing for me to take it apart. It's just enchantment, and I can't do just enchantments. It has to be an anchor for them to my thing to work.
I have quite an interesting purpose for this myself, actually.
I'm sure you
How
do.
Thank you. Well, shall we say the room for 6 months? The space to work, to create, and he's going to offer you. What is he going to offer you? He's going to offer you. What? I can't even remember. Is it a legendary item? That one, is it? Oh, it's not. It's from the deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a thing.
Okay. Cool.
That's the problem. I was like, I don't know what it does. I don't know how to really work it. I can't make another one. Evil thing. It's in our thing on Discord.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
want to
just
get
trying
it
to
quickly.
work out what it would be.
Pretty powerful enchantment, really.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
stun to anybody who looks at it.
yeah.
It's a charm effect,
Mm.
and that's the thing that Pete added because it was stupid.
Yeah, it was too overpowered.
So you added a save to it.
Yes.
Rather than just auto stun.
Everybody's now. Everybody can't do it. Okay, so he will offer you. Right. Okay, there's going to be a bit of a barter here. So he will start you at 1,000 gold pieces.
1,200.
Arden just kind of sits back and just kind of wants to enjoy the interaction.
No, 1,400.
1,004. It is damp. It does have a horrible look to
I
it.
know it cries. I'm not entirely sure what the. I'm scared.
I don't
It
think
cries. I don't know why the dog cries.
It's not really for looking at, though, obviously, for
Well, if you
functional
look at it,
purposes.
10 goblins going,
you could
please.
stick in a lantern, like one of those lanterns that open and close.
Interesting. Or sort of give
Plus,
it
what
its
does it
own-
matter what it looks like? If you look at it, your brain stops working.
For some of us, maybe. Not all of us. But
No. It doesn't work as good with elves.
make me a persuasion roll.
10 goblins going to lose the bet.
Shit. 10.
May I interject?
You're cheating.
Okay.
How about 1,200
Yes.
for the creepy doll? The room for 6 months,
Yes.
but with the option to sublet the workshop when we are not in the city.
And you speak
And,
to Eluxith.
well, yes, I
I'll
thought.
give her a hand, sure.
And some positive encouragement to make something a little less rudimentary. You'll see
I
what I
didn't
mean
make
when
that.
she shows you Nut.
I'm sorry, nut.
Her homunculus.
Oh,
Is it a squirrel by any chance?
No, it's worse than a squirrel.
Oh dear.
what do you have against squirrels? They're fun.
Chipmunks are worse than squirrels.
I just heard the word nut and my mind immediately went to squirrel. I don't know.
What is wrong
Why?
with squirrels?
There's
What is
nothing wrong
right
with-
with squirrels?
I mean,
I-
Like I said, chipmunks are worse than squirrels.
I don't
No,
know.
they're
Squirrels
not.
are rats of the trees.
I
and-
thankfully have not had to encounter chipmunks, but I have had many an encounter with squirrels.
Imagine,
They
Worse
have
than
never-
chipmunks.
Peasant.
A goose.
imagine,
That's
imagine-
terrifying.
imagine a squirrel that's short, fat, and sings. They're terrible.
This is the wine talking.
I think I might got
He's
him.
gone on a tangent about squirrels.
No,
Yala's getting quite passionately defensive about squirrels.
now, imagine if the squirrel spoke English and they sang. I come from a place with druids. It was possible.
That sounds terrifying,
It
Very
sounds
much.
positively
but
hideous.
slightly entertaining for children, maybe. I don't know.
I like that movie. I love that movie.
I
That
must say,
series of movies.
Why doesn't
I wondered
anybody
how-
make anything interesting happen with ducks? Ducks and money, that's what I'd like.
Ducks.
Always make you a duck. Wandered around, goes quack quack.
Can you make
I
it
mean-
dive?
What?
Never mind.
You can make
What
it
did you say,
dive.
Pete?
It comes to the point in the
Scrooge
conversation
McDuck
where
and the gold tip. Right.
Ray may have had a few. No, because Ray isn't drinking wine. Nyala, have you had anything to drink? Have
It's
you-
right.
She hasn't touched
Ray's
a
talking.
glass for now.
You don't know it's not out. You don't
No,
know it's alcohol.
But the smell is different, my dear.
Make a
Mm.
perception check.
Yeah.
If you bomb your perception check, you are drinking wine.
25.
No, you know. Somehow you still
You're
have.
just like, wait a minute. I thought
Yeah. You somehow know you switched the glass, but somehow it's still wine. Someone is playing silly devils at this table. You do not know whom is doing it.
is Arden actually drinking wine? Like,
It's only Gretch who you start seeing his cheeks start getting a little bit darker green, as he's having a few more. Okay, look,
Well-
let me make introductions. I feel like a siesta.
well, getting away from business,
Oh.
more onto the social.
Yes,
So how long have you been? You're a member of the council, aren't you, Gretch?
indeed I am.
How long have you been on the council?
Well, it would probably be. This is my 9th year.
And I've never really gotten much involved in the politics of the city. Did people have to vote you in, or did you have to have recommendations from previous people, or how does that work?
Certain levels of influence grant power here. Those that can identify or become useful elements to the city, mainly for magical purposes, as you may well know, that Kakanzax is it's
So the rich and
purpose.
powerful of the city vote who they want to go in the council for their best interest.
Not quite. The King of Monsal, or his Prince Regent.
Former Prince Regent.
Indeed, quite. I was about to say the loss of Tustin of the young Fenric is terrible. I'm sure. He says that with some degree of sarcasm. He
Oh, did you okay?
you're being me biscuit. Oh, lovely.
The last one.
Thank you. He says the King in Mordensal rules all of Frohast apart from the Western Reaches, which is ruled by the Norns, as you know, I'm
Yes.
sure. He grants a certain level of magical freedom to those who abide within the bounds of Mordensal and who have the talent to wield it. Much experimentation and new magic and new devices and new ways of working magic have often been used and practiced here, hence its isolation in the middle of one of the most barren landscapes. Yet livable, unlike that of the Hath. Otherwise, I imagine that Litiana would have petitioned to have it built there.
What do you mean?
Well, She approached the Sletneys when they began to build Kakanzak, and the king.
That was a while ago.
Long, long time ago. And when she influenced the king and told them that she would bring great wealth and great magical powers to Mordensow and Kakanzax, and making it a center of learning. They were fine words. That's what drew me here, certainly. I began as just a proprietor here, tinkering here, mixing potions there, but my real interest was in the identification of items and the collection of them, and I have a way with words, as you may have noticed, and a shrewd bargainer sometimes not, when I've had a few too many.
So Litiana was a founder of Kakanzax?
Not founder of Kakanzax, that falls to the Sletneys, but
Well,
founder
she
in becoming a
initiated its construction by convincing the king to have it done.
by convincing the king to allow the magical facilities to be constructed. The Great Library, for example, is part of the city wall.
True, but if
to the west.
Litiana didn't bend the ear of the king, Kakanzax wouldn't be what it is today.
Indeed.
My uncle told me about the library. Seems like a great place.
Do you get on well with Litiana? Does she communicate much with the council, or does she tend to be quite private?
We are on speaking terms. When we're at council meetings, there is never a raised voice against her.
Really?
She speaks little and does her business at the table, mostly, but never in a forceful manner.
She just gives a little nudge.
Yes, I think that would describe it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just very curious because she just took me as a student, so I'm kind of curious what she does in the city, actually. Can you tell me?
I mean, since we arrived, she was obviously very powerful and leads the city in a way, but we don't really know about much of what she actually does.
She is a fountain of knowledge. You ask her any questions, she will most likely have the answers. That she has memorized pretty much every text within that library, I believe.
Who else is allowed into the library?
The scribes.
And what do the scribes do, in fact, other than write?
The dying texts, they are each assigned part of a book to copy and to keep the text alive. The ones that are more damaged, they will copy word for word, make the best versions of them so that the library may remain a permanent asset.
Why is the library so complex? It's a library. It stores books.
It stores knowledge.
Yes, I get that, but
knowledge is powerful, Alden.
Yeah, I understand that,
Well,
but
bookstore
it
knowledge.
just seems. Forgive
Library
me.
stores.
Maybe you would have noticed this as well, but the state of that library seems overkill for just books.
I believe that some of the books in there may have been recovered from places not of this plane. Not of this place and not of good. That is my suspicion. I believe there
You're
may be...
not allowed in the library, Gretch.
Oh, as a council member, I am allowed certain access.
Does it grant you the same access that I have? And she pulls the keychain that Litiana has given her.
No. No, it doesn't.
Oh. What do you mean?
I believe that gives you pretty much an access all areas.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Litiana's students are offered quite a lot. Go, Ray.
Yeah. Where did Celia put the... Can I make a perception check?
Sure.
Where did Celia put the key?
You're not touching the key.
I just want to know.
You
Just
see where
wanna
she
know.
put it. She didn't do it. She didn't ask to stealth it, so.
It's under her robes. You know, like she has straps on the front.
Mm-hmm.
She just have slide her hand under and
It's within
hooked
her.
it.
It's within her roping.
You say students.
Mm-hmm.
She's had others?
Oh, many have been pupils under her.
And where are they now?
Out in the world, gathering more knowledge.
They have obtained phenomenal cosmic power. They're doing the wizard thing, like hanging out and
They're out there
towers.
in the world, and they
Gone years.
glean knowledge from old places, and sometimes even return with a new tome to add to the library.
Yeah, that's what we do mostly.
You
Towers have grown
mentioned
in.
earlier the half expanse. Litiana suggested not building it there and having it here. Do you know what happened to the half expanse? What created it? Why it's such a desolate wasteland?
A great war, and the magical energies expelled within it were getting more and more violent and more destructive, and eventually some great magics clashed and turned it to glass and sand. And everyone was destroyed. A great tragedy, so as the histories are read.
Gretch? What do you
Yes.
know of Blint Floxet?
Oh. Now, what a legend. What
Yeah, we've read about it.
Stories only. But an individual with such a grasp on the workings of machine and magic. You see him become on the edge of his seat about this. Harnessing powers and energies into magical force inside devices that anyone could wield.
What happened to him?
We know not. The histories say that he was helping people from the war. The histories say he helped many an individual survive terrible wounds, terrible injuries, and had some great work that he was creating, something to protect the people, the good people. And then there's nothing for some time until the world around realizes what happens, and the half is glass and sand.
Gretch, I hate to turn this back to business. What would the whereabouts of Blintfroxet be worth?
To me, alive,
Potentially.
200 years old dwarf.
Now, that would be a feat, wouldn't it?
What do you know, Arden? And what are you keeping from your old friend Gretch?
It's not my secret that I've been keeping. It's Litiana's.
The eyes narrow, but the pupils widen. Do tell.
Is it a good idea, though?
Sorry, say again?
Nella said, is it a good idea, though?
Gretch, what do you honestly think of Litiana?
I think she's incredibly clever. I think she's incredibly guarded.
What do you think her intentions are with your contacts? After all these years, hundreds of years gathering knowledge.
I think she sees it as a place of safety. Somewhere she has nested herself to work whatever plans they have within their mind, undisturbed by the rest of the world.
Undisturbed apart from one person. The king. Now, you told me he befell some kind of charm and the perpetrators were caught, correct?
Well, there's the rub. Curse was lifted.
But
Perpetrator is at large.
Who would stand to gain from the king of Mordansar and his son having no power over the land?
Anyone who wished to. You believe?
It's
You
just a
realize
theory.
what you were saying?
no,
I think she has an agenda. I don't know what it is. Things keep happening that she has knowledge of and power over, and yet does nothing.
You realize one of her students was the king's son.
And that's more damning evidence.
Expelled from the school. Kicked out. Never
Or
completed.
sent. What if he was doing exactly what he was instructed to do? Or set on a path?
I think that's enough wine for you, Arden.
Gretch, can we trust you?
With what? Money talks to me. That
So
buys.
knowledge and power.
Knowledge is also has its price.
And I continually come to you with knowledge, do I not?
You do, and I believe you to have been an honest
Forthright.
individual with me. Although this is a new side of you I had not experienced.
I'm sorry if it disappoints.
No, no, not disappointing. Intriguing. You can make a deception roll if you are deceiving, or if you're being completely honest, you may.
Being completely honest.
Okay.
Most people I meet in my life have simple motives: money, power, control. I don't believe Litiana is any different. However, I think she has grander plans. Flint Blockset, the Half Expanse, the Sletneys, the Lich in the West, the King, his son, Litiana. It is all connected. Litiana didn't want the Half Expanse because she knew that it isn't really gone. She wanted somewhere away from that. Why, I don't know. Maybe one day it would come back. What do you know about the puzzle box that Sletney's had?
Arden.
I know very little. We had a lovely tour once with that slimeball Sletney showing off his little gallery. Obviously, I noticed an item in there that was most puzzling, if you take my pun. But we were not there long, and the wine was poor. And since then, I've never set foot in the Sletney mansion again.
I'm taking a leap of faith here. It might be helpful for you to know this. You might be able to be the man on the inside, as it were. I don't expect anything of you. I don't expect you to put yourself at risk. The puzzle box was a prison created by Isambard Sletney. It contains two discs used to blackmail and keep the Lich in the West at bay.
Go
The
on.
prison was attached to a puzzle box that was already in existence, created by Blint Flockset. Blint Flockset created the puzzle box. The Half Expanse, Gregdon, wasn't destroyed. It was saved.
What is in the box?
The Half Expanse and all its people, we believe, and potentially even Blint Flockset himself, are in the puzzle box that the Sletneys inherited and added a prison onto. Litiana has known this entire time. She sent us off to the Lich, fully well knowing it was in possession of the puzzle box. The only bit of bargaining that Isambard had to keep it at bay in the West.
The Lich. You fought a Lich and
We
won.
didn't fight a Lich, we fought something that Preston was possessed.
It's basically a mask made of the very flesh of said lich. Put it on and you'll see you.
When you say Tustin,
I told you this before. Remember?
Thing
Litiana's student.
that would mean that you have killed the heir to the throne.
Yes.
Wasn't me.
I did mention that he was
Nothing to do with
responsible.
me.
And if Litiana was the person to
Set
initiate,
him on his path.
why?
If the sun was out of the way and the king was indisposed, Frost was her plaything. She wouldn't need permission from anyone for anything.
But now the king is awake.
Exactly.
There is a thorn in her side.
Exactly.
Then the king must know. The king must be protected. At all costs.
There is another alignment on the horizon. Not only do I believe that we have enemies to the east with them all, I think Litiana will plan to do something as well.
Then you must choose your path very wisely, and I shall keep my ear to the ground. I quite like the anonymity or reclusiveness that Kakanzax offers one such as myself. I would not want that taken away. And I would not like that to be in the hands or in the control of Litiana, I don't think. I think without a king to control or manage the armies and the lands, unite the people, it could become quite distressing.
One last thing. Might as well go all in here. Told you everything else.
Oh, Ray's got his fingers in his ears.
She admitted to us directly. Well, under some persuasion. All this search of knowledge, this gathering of power, she's using it to ascend, to attempt to become one with the weave. And she's been using in a fashion or studying the shards.
Most are. I've told you that I've encountered them before. I know them to be great sources of power, but they are not, put it easily, clean. They come with a price far higher than I wish to pay.
She seems to think even, sorry, it must be the wine, that she can use it somehow without giving in to its temptations.
He doesn't think she has.
I'm sure every single person in the East that has given in to those temptations would say the same.
Oh, please.
When you say the East,
The more, over by Shardfell. They seem to have headed off that way. And from what we've learned today, there's apparently a rumoured Shadowfell portal over there as well. So there's a lot of things at play. And while we go abroad and we move to other places and take on different foes, as I've said, it would be nice to have someone keeping an ear to the ground here. Darvel's going to head north, hopefully towards Gregden. Maybe you can find out more information when he passes through Mordensong, but I would like him to find out more information about the other monasteries.
Do you, any of you, have the ability to send a message to me so I might communicate?
I'm the wizard of the group.
Let's stay in contact.
If you would have a sending stone, things would be easier then.
Can be arranged.
I do have a personal question though. Not exactly related, but in a way. What do you know about the north of Sultan?
Very little. The climate doesn't agree with my skin.
What about a big tree? A very tall and preeminent tree that would be guarding a very specific area.
I know nothing of that. The trees I know, the largest I have seen, are in Gargamel.
Well, you've taken up enough of your time this evening.
Why, thank you. It's time for my siesta anyway.
Well,
Hold
this
on.
afternoon even. Yes, what is it, 2, 3?
Around that time, I feel one of my headaches coming on anyway. Just 1 second. She'll meet you on the floor. Luxith, sorry. I've messaged her. I've sent her a little ping to come down and meet
There we
you.
go, really. You have a new colleague. Thank you, Gretch.
I shall ponder on this. I shall. Puts the glass down. It's about his second or third glass of this vintage. I must. Puts up his feet. Think and get back to you. I might have some ideas of where you might go next, or at least some way to get there. Good day to you. Thank you for your candid advice.
Insight. Straight away, insight. 23.
He seems very grateful. You think that the sleep is faint. He is not drunk. He is not getting overwhelmed by sleep. He is processing that information. He needs to work out what his next steps are. But when he says he'll keep his ear to the ground, you believe that to be honest and genuine, that he wishes to stay in contact with you.
It's like not bad intentions, but like something that could potentially do bad things in the
He's
future.
very much up for saving his own skin and his own interests.
Yeah.
He's a goblin.
Yeah. But
He's
his
not
intention.
He's not against you.
Well, this is the thing, right? And he's out for himself to a degree, and that's a lot clearer than what Litiana is up to. So as long as
Out
we
for
can look
himself
after,
in very material things,
Yeah.
a very short lifespan.
if we can look after Kratathnas and make sure he can maintain that,
Yeah.
then he might look after us. So we'll see what happens.
We'll probably have to end it there for today, guys. That was
Oh.
a lovely little game.
There's so much information.
Yana is pissed.
Everything is connecting.
You know how long I've been waiting for one of you to break or try and go through one of the windows?
We went to the windows.
There was even like when there was like you could hear bird song. I kept saying in the cart like about like there's like wind rippling
Is
on
the
the
home? Please don't tell me the homestead that we could see out the window next to the lake and the stuff was rooks. Please don't tell me the farmstead we saw was rooks.
Uh-oh.
We were that close. Yeah, no. I just literally I've sat here and the more information I've got, I've just thought, wait a minute. He's like, Litiana had pupils. Okay, right. Students. Who else is them? What do they do? This, that, and the other. Trustin was one of them. Okay. She spoke to the king. This happened. That happened. I'm just like, everything connects back to Litiana.
She has been working quite
a long time.
Yeah, and what Gretchen said. Gently. Little prods. Here and there, like pats on the back, and this is advisable, this is not advisable, and she has a lot of knowledge. She's very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
I don't think she is evil per se. I think she is working to have her own gain. But the method she's using is to the detriment of others.
I don't think Litiana has a care in the world for the people of Earl. And it's all about her agenda to join the Weave. And whatever cost that is at, I don't think she cares. But we'll find out.
Yes, Ray.
Yes.
What was the name of that new artificer I need to check on?
Eluxeth. Her surname is. Hold on. Oh, what is her surname? I'll spell it to you. Hold on, let me just find her.
Why does that sound familiar?
You've met her before.
Yeah.
In a lovely one shot. Where me and Bean ended up speed dating.
Yeah. Eluxeth is one of Bean's characters, isn't it?
No. Eluxeth is the one that I was playing when she was playing her version of Luna Lovegood. And then I said, why don't we play it that it's speed dating night? And you ended up speed dating Rook's ancient owl character, whatever he was called. And I ended up we did rollies, and I ended up speed dating Bean, but in character. And she was playing like Luna Lovegood, and I was playing Eluxeth. What was that Bean's character for that? Oh yeah, so her name is spelled like this: Eluxeth. Eluxeth. Yeah, she was in a lovely one shot.
Which we never finished.
No,
we never finished it.
And I'll tell you a bit of info about her. She's no, you can meet her next time.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time.
Yeah. I do want to ask now, though, Luke, would it be okay if later on Nyala used the dream spell on you, Henna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but can we do that bit in downtime? Because it's really long and but later when we get to it.
100%.
Yeah, well, you guys could jump forwards to there, maybe retiring for the day. Well,
I'm happy for that.
And you could run that, and if And we can just watch that interaction happen. And Ray, if you're up for it, sorry, Jack, this week, if you want to, me and you could do the Luxith meet, but if you would like to do that actually here, like in video, we can do it that way
I
as
don't
well.
mind either way.
Which would you prefer? That's why I'm asking. Which is easier for you to process?
I don't mind either way, but it feels like it might be a while before we get to play D&D with Ray again.
Okay, so let's do it in some downtime then. And so you can keep your hand in with Ray as a character and keep playing, and we can get these bits that don't involve George's character, Muruk, and then we can hopefully do something where we're all doing stuff together, or by the time we reach the next time we can play as a full-bodied party. How does that sound?
Yeah, great.
Almost like admin-y bits out of the way, and then we can do some kind of adventuring and stuff like
Well,
that.
the amount of lore that we got out of the downtime with Litiana, Jesus. That just shaped this entire episode, like just of like.
Yeah, you are asking the right questions. You got the right. She's very specific. That's how I kind of wrote her. I'm going to stop the recording and. I'm